In last week's assignments, you looked at chemical reactions that happen inside living organisms and the laws of thermodynamics. We talked about the laws of thermodynamics because the chemical reactions that happen inside our bodies, inside our cells, and inside the cells of every living thing follow those laws. Now we're going to start to get more specific about the chemical reactions that not create energy, as those laws say that you can't create energy, but change the form of energy from something out in the environment, like a plant, into something that a living organism can use to fuel the other chemical reactions that need to happen in the body. In order to do that, we need to focus on the two structures inside the cell that allow those chemical reactions to take place. These are the homes for the chemical reactions that deal with energy. The first home in a plant is the chloroplast. The chloroplast is the organelle that makes the plant green, and this is where photosynthesis occurs. The other organelle responsible for energy reactions is the mitochondria. Mitochondria are found in both plants and animals, and this is where that chemical form of energy is turned into a different form of energy that is then used to do things like active transport, mitosis, meiosis, and things like that. So this PowerPoint compares and contrasts the functions of chloroplasts and mitochondria. Cellular machinery, the things that make the cell work, require a continuous energy supply to do that work. The two types of cellular power stations are the organelles called chloroplasts and mitochondria. One, the chloroplast, harnesses light energy from the sun, and then the other, the mitochondria, unpacks this captured energy into smaller things that are useful for powering cellular work. We'll start with talking about cellular respiration. This is the process by which cells make ATP. ATP is a molecule of energy. The other chemical reaction is photosynthesis. This is the process by which plants and some other organisms use light energy to convert water and carbon dioxide into oxygen and glucose, which is another a form of sugar. So we'll start with chloroplasts. Since food chains, we learned way back at the beginning of the school year, always start with the producer, the plant, the thing that can make its own chemical energy. We'll start with that process, that chemical reaction, which is found in the chloroplast. Remember that chloroplasts take the sun's light and turn it into sugar. If you think about that, that's a pretty amazing process, to take light and turn it into sugar. Plants and algae, which are plant-like protists, live in the water, they harness this light energy through photosynthesis. This is only found in eukarya, which are eukaryotic autotrophs and producers. Remember that eukaryotes are things that have a nucleus. Light energy plus water and carbon dioxide yields, that's what this arrow means in a chemical reaction, yields or gives us sugars, which are used as chemical energy, and oxygen. So all of the producers out there on the planet are producing sugar, which they keep inside their organism, and then oxygen, which they let out through their leaves or other forms. Again, this is only found in eukarya, autotrophs, or producers. This is what a chloroplast looks like. It has two membranes. The space is filled with fluid, and this whole space inside here is called the stroma. It has these disc-shaped structures. Those are called thylakoids. A stack of discs is called a granum, and multiple stacks, which you can see are connected right here, those are called grana. So granum is singular, grana is plural. This is a more basic drawing of the inside of a chloroplast. And this is a freshwater plant, freshwater protist, and you can see the individual chloroplasts in this image. Mitochondria, on the other hand, are used to take that sugar and break it back down into what is called ATP. ATP is an energy molecule and it's made of 3 parts. All eukaryotic cells, plants, animals, anything with a nucleus, have mitochondria that perform cellular respiration. Cellular respiration is essentially the opposite of photosynthesis. It doesn't make a chemical energy molecule. It takes that chemical energy molecule and breaks it down into another form. In the mitochondria, during respiration, basically a mitochondria takes sugar and turns it into ATP. ATP is called adenosine triphosphate. ATP has 3 parts. The adenine part, which is a nitrogenous base. Nitrogenous bases are also used in your DNA. And it's called a nitrogenous base because it's got a ring-like structure with nitrogen. That's why it's nitrogenous. Ribose, this is a form of sugar. And then the last part are the 3 phosphate groups. They're phosphate groups because they have a phosphate atom, a phosphorus atom, and there are 3 of them connected along with oxygen atoms. Parts of a mitochondria. You see that it also has a double membrane, and the inner membrane has lots of folds. The folds are called the cristae, and the part in between the folds is called the matrix. The reason it has many folds, the more folds it has, the more reactions, the more chemical reactions it will be able to do. The inner membrane also has lots of enzymes in order to complete cellular respiration. And like I said, the matrix is the inner fluid-filled space. Just as a reminder, plants have both the mitochondria and the chloroplasts, but animal cells only have mitochondria.